In this video, we'll be asking a very, very important question. Can we talk about sexual related matters in a love relationship? That's what we'll be looking at in this video. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, make sure that you like this video and make sure you hit the subscription button if you've not subscribed, and make sure you put on the notification button to get notified when I post subsequent videos. They're always wonderful videos, and check around too. There are a lot of videos that you'll find interesting. So make sure you watch them and recommend them and share them also with your friends. So like I said, in this video, we'll be asking a question: can we talk about sexually related matters in a love relationship? Now, this is a question that many people usually ask in the church. Even if they don't ask it, somewhere in their mind, they are wondering, can we talk about these sex-related matters in a love relationship? And if we don't talk about it, how do we handle it when we get to that bus stop? You need to realize that this is not something we can shy away from. You are an adult, and sexual-related matters are critical matters in the marriage. Yes, you guys will not have sex all through the day, but it is like a salt that you don't need much of it in a soup, but without it in a soup, it can make the soup to be tasteless. So that is how sex is in the marriage. You know the standard of God. Before you get married, there is no sex, and there is no sexually related acts. But doesn't mean that you can't talk about it at all. No, you can talk about it. How deep you go about the discussion will be dependent on the level of the stage your relationship is, and how serious and how committed both of you are with each other. But at the beginning, it should not be your major focus. At the beginning, you should focus on compatibility in other areas. For example, your spiritual compatibility. Talk about your emotional compatibility. Talk about your social compatibility. Talk about your intellectual compatibility. As you look at compatibility in those areas, you begin to work towards your goal. And then look at your medical history. Talk about your medical history too, because your medical history can also affect your sexual performance. So have you had any complication in the past? Do you have any medical related issue that you are currently dealing with? Is there any ailment or anything you are currently nursing in your body, whether something physical or something hereditary or something emotional or something medical that you are currently working on? If you have those things, then you need to talk about it. What is your medical history? And if you've been sexually active before, you need to talk about it. Let your partner know. I've been in a relationship before, and then we engaged in illicit sex. Yes, all things are passed away, but you need to understand and you need to talk about it so that both of us know what we are up to and we know what we are into. So if you've had sexual experiences in the past, you will need to go for tests to ensure that you don't have any sexually related disease or something. You need to be sure that both of you are medically fit. At the beginning also, you can talk about your perspective and your experience concerning sexually related matters. It doesn't have to be something deep. It can be, okay, I believe that this, okay, I heard that this one, I heard that this is what people used to do, I heard this, I heard that. You know, we've picked a lot of sediments over the years. No matter how spiritual you are, even if you were born in church, you must have had some myths, some beliefs, some mindsets, some experiences, some exposures to sexually related discussions. And those things, they have dropped a lot of sediments in your heart. Some of those sediments are dangerous for your marriage. Sex is this, sex is that, this is how they do it, this is how they do that. You've gathered a lot of things somewhere in your mind. Those things are locked up, and you are waiting to be married then to go and practice all those things you've learned. And some of those things are not right for your marriage. So you need to begin to see how you can talk about it, but definitely avoid unnecessary graphic details. Once you discover that talking about that matter is already getting you guys to be aroused or something, just stop that discussion and move to something else. So you should avoid being unnecessarily graphical about your discussion, about your description. Okay, this is how this one used to look like. This is how this one. You don't need those things. It's just just sampling your general orientation and your general beliefs about sexual matters. Also, begin to read books and listen to messages on it. I remember when I was in 200 level, then I was definitely not thinking about relationship then. I listened to a message. The title of the message is "Let's Talk About Sex." Now, it was preached by a pastor, not a motivational speaker and not somebody in the world. It is a pastor of a church, and I think he was teaching about it in his church. And he started, in fact, when you see the title of that kind of message, I feel like, pastor teaching about sex in church. Wow. Let me listen to what this man has to say. And at the beginning, he first of all debunked all the things that we believe about sex. Some people believe that sexual matters should not be talked about in church, that the church is a holy place, as if it was the devil that created sex. And most of us, the things that we know about sex, we learnt them outside the church, and sometimes some things are right, some things are wrong. So why not talk about it in church and then learn the right thing in church? So if you see such audios, make sure you embrace it. If I see the name of the person and I can get the link to download it, I'll put it in the description. Apart from videos and audios, there are books on that too. One of such books is Model Marriage. My partner and I read a book like that some years ago. The title is Model Marriage. That book explained a lot of things about marriage and various stages that the marriage will go through. And also they explained a lot of things about sex. And trust me, it will help you guys to learn a lot. There are several materials out there written by godly authors and medical practitioners that you guys can pick up and read and discuss the things you are reading about. And when you started getting closer to marriage, and then you are sure that at this point we are getting more serious, not like you are not serious from the beginning, but we've taken our commitment to another level. So you can begin to seek professional advice and medical advice and godly counsel concerning sexually related matters. During my courtship period, my partner and I went through a particular marriage counseling session, and I think there were like 10 modules or thereabout, and one of the modules was talking about sexually related matters. And since our counselor is a pastor, learning about sex from a pastor, a godly person, gives us a good perspective concerning it. So you can see that it's not something you can completely shy away from, but the depths you can go and the things you can talk about will be different from different stages of marriage to another. Well, if you feel like you've heard some things about sex that you're not sure whether it is correct or not, seek medical advices, seek professional advices, and ask questions. If you feel like you have some medical complications that can affect your sexual performance, make sure that you do tests and deal with them. Also, in your various premarital counseling classes, I believe that you must have been recommended for some tests, some medical tests. So you should make sure you do those tests. Some of those tests will test potency, will test fertility, will test whether one person has complication or not. Because people ask questions like, how do we know whether this person is potent? How do we know whether this person is fertile? There is tests for those things. You don't need to go and do practical to know those things. There is tests for it. So you can seek professional advices on the relevant tests you can do, so that both of you can be very sure that you are okay. And then when you do those tests, you will have that confidence and assurance that both of you are okay. And if there is any complication, you'll be well advised on what to do, on how to overcome it. And then you begin to prepare your mind for the medical peculiarity of the person you are getting married to. And those things will help you guys to have a wonderful experience. I believe you've learned one or two things from this video. Trust me, this is not something we can talk about in full length. When you get married, you will learn the other things. So if you've learned something, make sure that you like this video. Liking this video helps us to reach more people. So always like our videos when you watch our videos. And if you've not subscribed, I don't understand why you've not subscribed all the while. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you put on the notification button to get notified when we put subsequent videos. Thank you so much.